Little girl looked overhead with a frightened look on her face. The sky was clear. Suddenly there were dark clouds and thunder and lightning. A bolt of lightning fell across the sky. The father hides the child in the house. Black goats pulling a cart. It fell from the sky. Two men jumped down from the cart. One of them had an old hammer in his hand. As the hammer swings, a thunderous sound was heard around him. The family in the house panicked. They cowered in the corner. The father is on guard. The door was thrown open. A man in a cloak came in. He tells them not to be nervous. The two men were the heavenly race. They were passing through and wanted to take a break. It was a great honor for this family. In this kingdom, the heavenly ones are in charge of everything. The mortals are as weak as ants in their eyes. Thoth, the bearded man, is the guardian of the thunder gods of the heavens. The cloaked man Lot also guards the land. Thoth told the little girl Anna to give his mount some water to drink. Anna did not hesitate to obey. She carried the bucket of water outside the house. She was stunned when she saw their mounts. The black goat, taller than a horse. The eyes were clear and glowed with a dark red. The two horns were as thick as trees. This left Anna's brother Carter was amazed. It was the first time he had ever seen a heavenly mount. Thoth told the two men to get inside. Then he pulled out a sharp blade. As a gift, Thoth disposed of one of the mounts. The meat was roasted. The family, who hadn't tasted meat in years, looked at the delicious lamb. Their mouths watered. Anna was lucky enough to get a piece. Everyone else got their own piece. SOS warned them, you can eat until you are full. You can eat as much as you want, but remember, don't break any bones. And then the crowd began to feast. The sweet and savory taste, the taste buds were flooded with it. It was like nothing they had ever tasted before. After taking a bite, the tiredness in their bodies was instantly gone. It was as if an inexplicable power in the body. Anna's brother Carter looked at the leftover bones in his hand. He wanted to taste the marrow inside, so he snapped the bone when Thoth wasn't looking. He sucked the marrow out of it. Another delicious sensation came over him, and he couldn't stop himself. After a good meal, they all lay down to rest. In the morning Thoth took the leftover bones, wrapped them in a cloth and took them outside the house. He threw them on the ground. Then he lowered his head and took the hammer in his arms. Anna woke up, curious. She came outside the house, wanted to see what Thoth was up to. The man swung his hammer. The wind blows around him. As the man swung harder and harder, the wind grew stronger and stronger. A strange thing happened. The pile of bones on the ground slowly began to recover. The flesh on them grew and grew, and the fur gradually covered them. Thoth raised his hammer and shouted. He struck the ground with a heavy blow. The pile of bones in front of him became the same as before. Slowly it rose to its feet, but when Thoth looked at the goat's legs, he saw that the bones had been broken. Not daring to drop the leg, feeling cheated, Thoth became furious. He turned towards the house and shouted, "Tell them all to get out." The family was stunned. They came out warily. Thoth asked them, who had broken the goat's bones, "I have given you gifts, and you have deceived me. You will bear my wrath." Just then Carter stepped forward. He confessed that he had done it himself. He was greedy, and that's what got him into trouble. Just as Thoth was about to do something, Lot stopped him. He wanted Thoth to forgive him. As punishment, he could take the boy in as a servant to Thoth for all eternity, to make up for his wrongdoing. Thoth hesitated for a moment and then agreed. The boy, Carter, smiled. This meant that he would be able to enter the heavenly realm. It was something that many people had only dreamed of. I never thought I would be able to do it. After bidding farewell to his parents and Anna, Carter followed the two men on their journey. They were going back to the heavens. Carter pushed the cart behind him, but after the journey, he collapsed from exhaustion. Thoth saw this and threw him into the car. When Carter woke up, he saw there was a seven-colored light around them. They were now walking on a rainbow. The forest and river beneath them seemed so small, leading the goat over the rainbow. On the other side of the rainbow was the gate to the heavens. But when Carter lifted the curtain he found Anna had somehow managed to hide in. Thoth sensed something. When he found Anna hiding in the car, he was also surprised. He then asked Lot to take Anna home, but Lot said that it would take 10 years for the rainbow bridge to open again. Why not keep Anna with him as a maid? Looking at Anna, Thoth compromised. He told them to get out of the car and follow him. Lot called Carter over. "Tell him he must protect your sister. This place is dangerous for mortals. Don't go anywhere." The pillars of stone on either side of the hill rise up to the clouds. A cloud of mist surrounds them. A straight passage leads to nowhere. Thoth suddenly stopped in his tracks. He saw the orcs lying on the ground. He pulled out his hammer alertly. The heavenly ones and the beasts were in the middle of a battle. The elders of the heavens urgently summoned Thoth and Lot to their home in the heavens to discuss the situation. After a long walk, at the end of the passage, an ancient gate stood before them. Thoth went forward and knocked on the door. The door opened slowly. As he entered, he arrived at his home in the heavens. At that moment one of the elders of the heavens told Thoth the meeting was about to begin. He told them to get to the sanctuary. Thoth turned back to the two men and told them they must not make a sound when they enter the temple, otherwise he would not be able to save them.
Anna enters the heavenly sanctuary. Looking at the Norse gods on either side, she dared not make a sound, but the woman with the blonde hair keeps her eyes on Anna. She sent a message into Anna's head, asking her why she was here. I sense a certain power in your body. Anna accidentally spoke the words, and it caught everyone's attention. Anna realized she had made a mistake. She ducked her head. It was then that Odin noticed. A mortal had entered the sanctuary. Thoth saw this and had Anna and Carter taken back to their quarters. They were locked up in a darkened hut. Anna was feeling a little tired. Her eyes closed and she fell asleep. Suddenly she felt something on her face. Anna panicked. A boy with fangs, Dada, appeared in front of her. Seeing what he looked like, Carter was on guard. Just then a woman pushed her way in. She was Thoth's maid. They were ordered to clear the house. Anna cleared the floor, and Carter was to serve Thoth to take off his boots. And when the work was done, they would be herded into the hut. Anna didn't want to be locked in here for the rest of her life, to be their servant. Anna quietly unlocked the door. Thoth and Lot were asleep in the cabin. They didn't even notice them. And so Anna and Carter carefully escaped from the house, and Dada followed behind them. But when they reached the gate they found a guard was standing there on patrol. Just as the two were at a loss as to what to do, Dada rushed out. He hit the guard in the neck. The guard fell to the ground and passed out. That is an orc, taken in as a child, became a servant. He was a man of great strength. With a push of his hands, the door was thrown open. Dada decided to take them down the hill, for he knew this place well. He had lived in the mountains since he was a boy. But suddenly Dada stopped in his tracks. There was a big footprint of a monster on the ground, appeared in front of them. They had unknowingly. They were in the territory of the ancient beasts. They couldn't go any further, or they would be in danger. Carter decided to go ahead and check out the situation. He walked into a wooded area. Suddenly some men in animal skins rushed out. They grabbed Carter. Carter had wandered into beast territory. He was taken to a beast elder. Carter rushed to say that he was a servant of Thor. He hoped that the elder would be afraid and let him go. But when the elder heard this, a smile appeared on his face. He then gave Carter a liquid to drink. Carter was taken away with dumbfounded eyes. Anna, on the other hand, had no idea what had happened to her brother. Dada had also brought Anna mushrooms, but he didn't know that Anna, as a mortal, couldn't handle the food of the heavens. And sure enough, something happened to Anna's body. She could feel the growth of everything around her. It was as if everything had been slowed down. Anna stood up. Her belly glowed with a dazzling light. Dada was stunned to see her. An overwhelming pressure came over him. His legs went weak. He fell to his knees directly in front of Anna. The two of them ate the mushrooms and fell asleep. But what they didn't know was that an orc had climbed up to the shelter. The orc was knocked out of the way by Thoth's hammer. He noticed that Anna and Carter were missing. He and Lot began to search for them. Thoth told the two to hurry out. A kick sent the house they had built flying. Thoth asked where Carter had gone. Anna pointed ahead. Thoth's expression was very grave, because he knew that was the road to the orcs' territory. Carter must have been taken by the orcs. It was dangerous for them to be here. The orcs had found them. Soon they would be coming in force. Thoth and Lotte had to return to the sanctuary with Anna. On the way, they met the elders with the temple guards. They too had spotted the orcs gathering here. They were ready to meet Thoth and Lot. But just then Anna sensed something was wrong. She shouted to watch her back. Several ancient beasts had been alerted. They appeared around them. Everyone had their blades drawn. They were on the alert. Dada looked around with a frightened look on his face. He sensed a powerful aura approaching. The trees on either side of them began to shake. The roar of a beast was heard. Thoth also gripped his hammer tightly in his hand. The sanctuary elder saw that something was wrong. He ordered the guards to leave. But when Thoth turned back to look for Anna, he was stunned. An ancient beast of elder rank had appeared. It slowly approached Anna. The aura it gave off, it took your breath away. But Anna walked towards it. Thoth stood behind her with a surprised look on his face. He was ready to save her. The ancient beast smelt Anna's scent, and it was like it was trying to be nice, as if to please Anna. Then he turned and left. Thoth watched what was happening. Couldn't believe his eyes anymore. The figure of Anna. It was like a legendary god, a being that he had once feared. Thoth rushed to ask Anna, did she have any special experiences in the mortal world? Anna thought for a moment and then said, I've been making patterns with stones since I was a child. Thoth asked Anna to show him the pattern. Anna had formed a circle of stones. Inside the circle, a few more stones were arranged together. Thoth saw the pattern and understood it immediately. He woke Lotte up. He looked at Anna. He whispered something in his ear. Thoth took Anna back to the temple, and together they met Odin. Thoth told him about the pattern Anna had created. He also told him about Anna's ability to communicate with the ancient beasts. He believed that Anna was the prophesied. He believed that Anna was the reincarnation of the queen who had disappeared for 3,000 years. In the prophecy, The queen would return to the temple in 3,000 years. In the prophecy, the queen would return to the sanctuary to lead them back to glory. Odin looked at the girl with suspicion. The gods on either side of the table also scoffed at Fatha's speculation. They did not believe that a being so many levels above them would be reincarnated in the body of this mortal. But the blonde woman looked at Anna with a sincere face. She said it was her. Odin realized something. He hurriedly asked Thoth to take Anna out of the sanctuary. Thoth took Anna back to his own quarters. This time, he respectfully let Anna to sleep in her own bed. But no sooner had Anna fallen asleep than she heard something. A golden cloak floated towards her.